Hello guys, good evening. Welcome to today's price action analysis video. It's the 24th of March 2022. Let's see how Nifty and Bank Nifty did today. So I've placed both Nifty and Bank Nifty on one screen, and most often when I do this, it is because I want to show you how Nifty and Bank Nifty react to each other. Why I always keep saying that you should have both of those instruments on your charts, how well they follow each other. They are literally each other's twins. You can see the price action here. Let's see Nifty first. Nifty opened with this green candle here, the level being the 17096 and the 17083. It was the level that was coming from a prior price action. So why had I marked this level? You can see here. Let me first explain this level to you, then we'll go back to the price action. See here, what had happened was within this area here, you could see that the resistance here was broken by this particular candle, green candle. That was the 22nd March 12:40 PM candle, and this was the resistance line here. So a lot of sellers were sitting here, and after all those stop losses were blown here, you could see that there was a huge rally upwards. So that was what I had explained in that video on that day, after that day closed. So there, that is an important level. So here is an important level, and that is why I had marked the zone. So that is why I keep telling you to mark zones on your charts, and when price comes to that level again, it acts as a strong support, and that is exactly what we saw today. So we had marked this level prior itself, and when price came here, it took support, and look at the way it bounced from there. Now let's go to Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty had opened with this red candle which was outside the S1 pivot. So whenever such a thing happens, and after a gap down here like this, whenever such a thing happens, usually this pivot, the S2 pivot, does not hold. Usually there is a further fall. But because Nifty went up, Bank Nifty was also pulled up in this area. Bank Nifty was showing weakness since the morning, and so I was not really keen on taking any positions in Bank Nifty today. But Nifty was giving some sort of strong signals right up in the morning. Why? Because if you can see this price action, look at these candles, back to back strong green candles here. And then after a bit of fight here between buyers and sellers, the previous day low was broken, and then the price shot to the CPR within this area. So you can see at this area it went and met the central pivot. Usually it is seen that whenever price closes into the previous day's range, especially when it has been a bearish session like this in the prior session, you know that there are a lot of sellers in this session. So with sellers carrying open overnight positions, are left in a panic situation whenever there is a candle that closes inside the range of the previous day. So that is why then there are such big candles, green candles, that are formed here, and the price goes and meets the CPR in a lot of instances. But usually I am not very enthusiastic about going long on such occasions. The reason being that markets always are seen to fall further and faster than they are seen to rise. So I'm not very enthusiastic about taking such long trades whenever the price breaks into the previous day's range from the bottom. In fact, I had spoken about this in yesterday's video, I think, that price falls much steeper and quicker than it tends to rise. So whenever price enters the previous day's range from the top, it falls quicker to the CPR than when price enters from the bottom, it goes and meets the CPR. So the chances of it falling to the CPR are much higher. That was what I had said. And now you can also see that when price had actually broken in, there were none of strong candles here in Nifty. Can you see any strong candles here? I'll just mark the day low, previous day low here. See, there was no strong candle here in Bank Nifty, in Nifty, sorry. This was the candle that you might say broke into the previous day's range, but this was the strong candle, the convincing candle. So we had the wicks up to this level here. So this candle left this wick here, then we saw that there was a small wick that came above it, and then there was another third wick that was here. So we could see that these were the wicks, and then this particular candle broke out from the wicks and gave a actual breakout sign. But then you could see that the CPR was so close to it here. So there was really no long trade after price broke into the previous day's range. And you could also see that here when this candle broke into that, you could say that it was a 950 candle. Let's consider the 950 candle there. You could see that the 950 candle in Bank Nifty was still under the S1 pivot, and if you can see here in Bank Nifty, there is also the weekly pivot coming in. There's a yellow line there. Maybe it's not very visible on the screen there for you, but there is a weekly pivot there. And so there is a cluster of pivots there, and whenever there is a cluster of pivots, then it is difficult for price to break that level, as you can see here. And then it has fallen from there. It gave a bit of a push after that was upwards, but then it again crashed from there. So that was the price action in Bank Nifty, but you can see how identical that price action is. See this here. The fall from Bank Nifty was so much in sync with Nifty. You can see that Nifty gave a rise from here to here, and then Bank Nifty also rallied from the S2 to the S1 pivot, and then Nifty spent some time here. Bank Nifty also spent some time here. Then Nifty gave this swing here. Okay, then Bank Nifty also gave this swing here, and then you can see these two green candles here. You can also see those two green candles here, and then it made this candle. After that, it went into a consolidation mode here. Bank Nifty also went into a consolidation mode here, and then you can see the drop in Nifty, which was imitated by Bank Nifty. And then let's see what Bank Nifty did after that. You can see both of them just going in a particular range after that. So no real price action there, just a contraction consolidation phase there. So I am very surprised at most times looking at how much they replicate each other, and that is the reason why I keep saying to all of you that there is a reason behind why both of them should be followed at the same time. Okay, so here there was really no entry as such in either Nifty or Bank Nifty. It was a wide central pivot range, so it was obvious that there would be selling at the central pivot range, and so did we see here exactly the central pivot range. The price did not absolutely reach the central pivot, but within the range itself, the CPR itself, price took selling and it fell off again. So price never reached the day low, which was at this position in Nifty, and had there been a retracement to that level and had it made a green candle there, then we would have been able to check if price would have rallied from there upwards or it would have crashed from there, but price never reached the low of the first candle. Okay, so having said that, now we will go into Bank Nifty chart first, and we will see what kind of important levels we see here. Okay, now today it is a virgin CPR for tomorrow's session. Okay, that is the first and most important level that you should be marking. It is this level here, which is the virgin CPR. So just draw a box here, extend it forward. We have the gap which still remains here, and you can see that the PDH now becomes a supply zone because of the crash from there. So what we will do is we'll just put a line here. We can see that there is a level here where we see a lot of price action here around the open of the day, and then again price has taken a certain bit of resistance again towards the end of the day. So we can mark a zone there, but since it is again within the CPR, let's not just mark too many lines. We will check for the price action for tomorrow anyway as the day progresses towards the CPR. Now we have a virgin CPR coming from the 16th of March, which is intact. So I'll just extend that level forward. The price is now closer to that Virgin CPR. We will see how price reacts to that level tomorrow. And these levels that we had marked, this was the demand zone coming from the 22nd of March, which is intact even today. The price has not been able to break that demand zone. Sellers have not been able to push price below that demand zone. So we will keep that demand zone as it is. Yeah, so I think that should be all for the important levels in Bank Nifty. I don't see any other levels as of now. We have all other levels marked historically. Let's now go to Nifty and check how Nifty has done. Okay, here we see that Nifty has bounced from the same level that we had marked. We just talked about it. And Nifty will not have a Virgin CPR since we do see candles in that area, but the day high, which is within today's CPR, will act as a strong resistance. So that will be an important area which you should watch out for tomorrow. Okay, these we will mark one more area here, which is a support line. Let's mark this area. We will mark just extend the S1 pivot forward, or you can just draw a line below the S1 pivot and make a small zone out of it. So you can make a zone like this, where you can see that you're touching the basis of these candles, but you're also marking the lows of the wicks. So we can mark a zone there. Be careful at that zone tomorrow. What has happened is this fall hasn't been able to sustain, and then it has formed a base around this area, and then from there price has jumped, and so price has not reversed back to this area again. So just be careful when price trades around that area tomorrow. And obviously the day low, that is the previous day low, that is today's low, is going to act as a strong demand zone because price has jumped from there today. And we have the Virgin CPR from 17th of March 2022 coming here. It is a wide Virgin CPR. We also have a Virgin CPR from the 16th. So we will just extend these levels, although they are much further away from price at the moment. Okay, so we have all other levels marked. I will share these charts on Twitter. I'll publish them on Twitter, and you can take them down from there. Thank you for watching this video. If you've liked it, please hit the like button. Also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you're notified each time I post a new video. Thank you for your patience, guys. Bye bye, and I'll see you in the next one.